The quick rhythm of social media really made me start questioning my art, because I don't do daily or weekly or consistent artwork at all. And it started making me anxious because I wanted to keep up. I make the art, just not in the pacing that makes the internet happy. But on one of my YouTube obsession phases, one video suddenly gave me some clarity. Struthless, the problem with the internet that no one is talking about video. I'll link it below. In it, he talks about how content doesn't equal art, and how he suspects that in the future artists will give up to try to keep up and create in much longer cycles to bring out more quality. Another thing that is talked about in this video is how artists are being forced to be a brand. I really don't like that idea because I don't think I have found my art niche yet. I'm trying out stuff. But Instagram doesn't like you trying stuff. It's not cool or pretty to look at. That thought really stressed me out. How do I make a pretty feed and still feel free to experiment with my art? Here enter the seasons idea. A constraint to be free within. Themes. The brand becomes the constraint, not the art within it. A bigger theme allows me to experiment with mediums and styles and subject matter, but still have some kind of cohesion to it. In my mind, at least. So my brand anxiety died a little bit down. The seasons also create longer time frames to work within, instead of feeling the need to push out individual amazing illustrations. I was in a period of burnout when I had this idea. I didn't feel inspired or motivated to draw anything, and trying to think of a cool new concept of whatever was out of question. I was sick of creativity. So, the first season became a series of fan art, something I find quite relaxing to do. I think of a pretty picture involving a fully fleshed out character, and that's that. It was a great way for me to ease back into drawing. So, let's talk about them. The drawings. Madoka was the first, simply because something deep inside me feels like drawing frilly cute dresses currently. My current focus is cloth and dresses and cuteness, and a little bit of fashion. I'm super happy with the result. Something crazy is that after my burnout, I suddenly had the courage to try stuff in art that I wasn't doing before, like further rendering than just flat cell shading. I was surprised at that development, but the result in Madoka's drawing made me really happy. Since this all happened in May, I decided to have a throwback to last year's Mermay, where I actually drew every day and squeezed in a fan art of my own Mermay. I am pretty happy with the flowiness of it, even though the H-shape composition is pretty basic. My next idea was Maka from the anime and manga Soul Eater. I suddenly felt like rewatching this anime, and since I love its aesthetic so much, I decided to draw it. I'm becoming a sucker for vertical compositions. Almost all my ideas are naturally that way. For this, I felt brave enough to try losing the line work altogether and render it out a little. Only a little, since I wanted her coat to remain a strong graphic shape. And I am incredibly happy with the result, especially her teeth. I love drawing teeth. Next fan art was commissioned by Mikumis. I linked her Instagram profile below. And I'm glad she did because her character is adorable. She's making a film project and that's the protagonist. Here's the synopsis. Shenku is the caretaker of all plant spirits that get called into the sanctuary after they die. His job is to help the spirits overcome their past life trauma so they can be free to sprout new life in the world. But lately, more and more plants are coming into the sanctuary unable to ease their troubles, overcrowding the place and leaving no possible way for Shenku to deal with the situation. Everything takes a turn for the worst when the spirit of a young basil called Planti comes into the sanctuary, demanding Shenku to open a portal into living world so they can both go and save Planti's parents from the unforgiving claws of a vicious cat that's threatening the life of all the plants from the apartment he used to live in. I like doing this one because I wanted to focus on drawing pretty leaves and flowers, and I wanted the foliage to feel organic and differentiated in shapes. I'm quite happy with how soft it all feels and whimsical. A short one was Kea in a dress, because of my current cute dress obsession, right? And Kea is my current main. It was super fun to design the dress. Also, that was the first time I recorded my process in real format, and it's actually fine. The next one is really special to me. So special it's hanging on my wall. It's my boyfriend. He did a photo shoot for a project in college, and I think the sequence is very pretty. I love the part where he gets covered by the dark cloth. It inspired me to create this illustration and another one coming soon. Now, coming back to Soul Eater. I couldn't resist to do the repeat with my favorite character, Corona. When I was thinking of the concept for this one, an inspiration of mine popped in mind. The artist Zine Chin, or Shin, and he has this super cool illustration of this mask thing, and it just merged in my head, and I decided to use this as further render practice. I'm not super confident in this, so the result is not as aesthetically pleasing as the other pictures, in my opinion, but I really like the concept of the piece, so I'm satisfied. Also, it was a good indirect study. And finally, the Katanagatari fan art. I was really looking forward to this one because it's the most creative one conceptually from all the illustrations, I would say. That's mainly because of the alterations and design from the character Togame and the idea with the floating swords, I guess. It really appealed to me. The detail with the bullet cutting her hair came later in the process, and I think it really brought it all together. And all those details in the concept from the illustration just made this a piece that kept me excited throughout the entire process. I struggle a little with the color palette initially, but I didn't mind because that's the most fun part to me anyway. Rendering wise, I was excited to go back to the process I did for Maka's fan art, since I really liked the visual, and this time the process felt a lot smoother because it felt like I knew what to avoid now. I am extremely happy with the final result, and I think it's probably my new best piece ever. And with this final illustration, I decided to end the season, mainly because I felt ready to move on to original content now. And also because I was having some cool new ideas. As a trial run of the seasons thing, I am pretty satisfied with not only the results, but the routine and mindset this put me in. I'm pretty happy with how I'm approaching drawing now. It's leaving me relaxed and excited to think of stuff, and I feel way less pressure to put out drawings quickly. I hope you'll tag along for the next seasons to see if I can keep this up long term. Also, I just wanted to mention that I put together a little zine with all the drawings from this season, so if you're interested in that, I put it up on Gumroad for free. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a great day.